What is up, guys? Another vlog. As you can see, I'm back at Corridor's place tonight, and I am working on some effects. Kind of had a big breakthrough because I finally feel like I'm starting to get the hang of this program and plugin for it that has been proving really difficult to use. I've told you guys about it, a few effects. Do you want to see a quick preview? I've got it playing right here. Look at that. So yeah, that's cool, because that's like, to me that looks amazing, and so I'm pretty stoked about that. I still need some work to do on it. That's not totally final, but like you can still see the motion. You can still see like the level of detail in the smoke that I was going for when I shot the video back in March. So yeah, now there's 13 more shots just like that to do. Yay. Yeah, so, to kind of talk about something a little different than filmmaking, let's talk a little bit more engineering stuff, because I really want to talk about this one thing that I like to call energy. And I know it's a brand new concept. No one's been, talking about this thing ever, but basically, I specifically want to talk about this type of power plant that is really efficient and really cool, and that is a molten salt energy plant. And when I say molten salt, I mean it literally has a battery that is molten salt. It stores heat. Heat is energy. They are the same. It's not like heat is a type of energy. Heat is straight up energy. And so this plant that I'm thinking of, I think it's in Africa somewhere. I'm not totally sure, but basically they have an array of mirrors that focus all the sun's light into a central point, kind of like how you have a magnifying glass and you burn ants or whatever. It's kind of like that, but up into a dish, or like a satellite dish, up into a central focus point. And that focus point is this giant tub of salt. It's not like, sodium chloride salt that you're used to, like table salt. It's a different type of salt, but it's still a salt nonetheless. And it's really, really good at holding its heat. I don't know the properties of it that cause this, but essentially they heat it up really, really hot, and that that heats this other thing that actually supplies power. But basically, this salt keeps its heat all night. So you get it hot during the day, and it powers the generators, and then it'll continue powering the generators all night, which is something that solar energy cannot do. It can only generate energy when there's, sunlight, obviously. But that's how all energy plants work. They all work on the same principle, which is basically boiling water, and that water goes through turbines, which spin these turbines, which spin a generator. And the generator spinning is what generates the electricity. That's how every single power plant has ever worked. Coal power plants, any sort of motor, like a diesel generator, all the same thing. Nuclear power, same thing. Hydroelectric power, same thing. They all turn a generator. They all have these turbines that spin, and it's all a matter of, how are we going to get this turbine to spin? And hydroelectric power, for instance, they just run water through it like a mill. You just put the little fan in the water and it starts spinning. Super easy. Hydroelectric power is probably the easiest source of energy on the planet. And there are other types, like coal, for instance. They just pour tons of coal into a furnace, and that gets hot, and that boils water, and that boiled water turns these turbines, which generates electricity. But my favorite is personally this molten salt. They heat up the salt, and it stays hot, and this basically they run a pipeline of water through the hot salt, and that really boils all the water. I don't know if I'm ranting at this point. I'm just really excited. What am I talking about? I'm going to pause. It's kind of... Right, so that brings me to talking about, say, nuclear energy. And the way nuclear energy works, it has a kind of a bad connotation to it because it has the words nuclear in it, or the word nuclear in it. Because people associate the word nuclear with bombs and things that go boom, But nuclear energy is relatively safe. Even if there was a meltdown, like say Chernobyl or Fukushima? The worst that had happened is just like it gets really hot and then radiation gets blasted everywhere, and you know, like in Chernobyl's example, the entire town is now dead for like the next million years. Fukushima, they managed to limit that, so it's just kind of like the facility. But nothing will like ever explode, because what these things do, they have why do I want to say aluminum? Hey, cat, what are you doing? Uranium, not aluminum. Gosh, yeah, uranium was what I was trying to think of. Uranium, they basically have these rods of uranium which get hot. They, because they're radioactive and they have half-lives, they're actually giving off tons of energy, and that energy is really hot. It's heat. And so, again, same thing. They boil water with that and turn turbines, and that's how you generate the electricity. But the issue with that is that you're burning this really rare element known as uranium. Uranium is super rare. It's on the same level as platinum. It's that rare in the Earth's crust. But the reason why nuclear energy uses uranium is because in the process of using up uranium, it actually turns into plutonium, which is weaponizable. And that is literally the entire reason why uranium is so widespread as a technology for nuclear power plants, is because when the stuff is used up, it's now a weaponizable product that I don't think the US actually creates nuclear weapons anymore using that stuff. I mean, for all I know, they might be, but you can be damn assured that they're stockpiling it so that, you know, no one else will get it. But that being said, there is a more efficient element out there called thorium. And oh man, I want to say it's like 4 times more common in the crust, and it's so common that like we can quadruple our yearly intake of energy into like say a month, and we'll still have a lifetime supply of energy for the planet. It's like, it's that common. And essentially the same way how uranium works in a nuclear, these are called liquid fluoride thorium reactors. It's essentially a cross between the molten salt power plant that I was talking about and regular nuclear energy. Very, very similar. And hold on, I'm losing my point here. I'm losing my point. Like, if we could somehow manage to establish this as an energy source, it would be incredible. We can be, you know, we'd have energy for the rest of humanity's existence. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about that because I don't really have anyone to talk about that with. Yeah, at some point over the weekend, I plan on having a Pacific Rim spoiler talk sort of thing where basically I just kind of talk about the movie, talk about different things in it. So only watch that if you've seen the movie, so hopefully you watch the movie in the next few days. Yeah, sorry I'm pacing a lot. I'm really active right now. You want to see the effect again? Look at this, it's still playing. Yeah, and so that effect took quite a while to do because I had to remodel all of the geometry in my 3D program, like all like the wall, the floor, all that. I had to recreate the sun to cast a shadow. Like if you notice, there's an actual shadow from the smoke. I mean, I'm so happy with how this turned out. So I mean, this is at the end of the day kind of like a prototype effect because it's the first one of this video on that scale. Like I've done several other effects on this video already, but like this is the first big one with smoke. Okay, yeah, I'm just happy with it. All right, 9-minute video. Roto, help me exit the video. What should we, Roto? All right, she's not too happy about that. Okay, that's all for today, guys. I will see you tomorrow. By the way, my fiance moves down in a week. Pretty excited. All right, take care. Bye-bye.